Hello everybody! Welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial video. Today I'm going to show you how to build this Snow Factory. This is a custom machine that I've come up with, which is kind of a combination of a few different devices, the primary one being the Snow Factory by DocM77 on YouTube from a few years ago on the PC edition. I've adapted a few different things like the timing to be able to work on the console a little bit better, but other than that, this is pretty much my design. I've also added a bulk crafting system to craft all these snowballs into blocks. There's a huge storage system, and it's pretty awesome. So this is how you use it. You can see that every time I break a shovel, a new shovel is dispensed to me eventually. There's a lot of delay here. There's a lot of time where you're not actually breaking blocks, and that's okay because these shovels make so much dang snow now. They've changed a little bit about the way the game works when snowballs generate, and it generates an insane amount of snowballs. So the delay there is to allow the hoppers to keep up with the system. You can kind of see on the left there of the screen over here, in this water stream when I'm doing this, that some of the snowballs are going right past our sorting system, and they're not even able to be picked up by the hopper, so it's going over the speed that the hopper can pick things up at, so that's why we have delay in here. So anyway, this is how you use it. You just sit here, you rubber band down your button, and you can just walk away for hours on end. You're probably going to fill your system up before anything else happens, but it's kind of dependent on how many chests you have of storage and how many shovels you have in your system. So anyway, that's how you use it. You can see I got a little thing in here to keep us in. This is a piston door to keep us in a little water stream, and that's the dropper elevator to dispense the shovels. So this is a pretty cool little system. It's fairly compact. You can see the whole design right there. And over here is a bulk crafting design that I came up with for this system. And this is kind of, inspired by Tango Tech's Iron Titan. He has a bulk crafting system for that, which kind of seemed like a good idea. So, okay, I'm going to show you how to bulk craft these blocks real quick, then we'll get on to building the machine. So you're going to want to put an axe and a trap chest and a normal chest in your inventory. You can keep that stuff in a chest nearby. You're also going to want to give yourself one stack of snowballs, or at least an inventory space allotted for snowballs. And again, I like to use food, so nothing else, I don't actually place blocks or anything like that, and then fill the rest of your inventory up. So you're only going to be able to pick up snowballs if you craft those snowballs, right? So what you want to do is come in here and try and find a chest with snowballs in it. Shouldn't be too hard. It should be working pretty well. I've only done probably about maybe 10 minutes or so of farming, and that's about how many we got. We got a bunch more at the top too that we can't access until we break all the other ones. So anyway, the way you use it is you just find a chest with snowballs and you break them, and then they all fall down here into the center-ish, and then you stand here and look forward. You want to go into your non-classic crafting and just hold the button, and you're going to craft all those snow blocks. They're going to go into the hoppers. One thing that happens is sometimes it glitches, so I like to kind of look over here so you're not dropping it directly onto the hoppers. You're having the ice stream push it onto the hoppers. Yeah, so that's how that works. And then when you use all the snow, you're going to end up with a snow block in your inventory. Let's try and get that to happen. My gosh, look at all this. This is a pretty productive way to do this really fast if you're trying to craft hundreds or thousands or something like that. So, okay, so we got down to, we're almost done. To make sure you get all the snow, make sure you craft it all up so you don't, mess your inventory up. And look at that, we got one snow block left in our inventory. Let's chuck it, and we're ready to do that all over again. So we can look up here, we can find another one. If you got Depth Strider, it might make it a little bit easier, but you can actually reach all the chests from in here if you're careful about it. You could also put this down too. I think that'll help a little bit, maybe not. Anyway, you break these chests like so. All the snowballs fall down, and you can do it all over again. So there you go, that's how you bulk craft blocks. You can see just like an insane amount of blocks flying into the system. It's pretty easy to use. The only downside is it's a little tricky to walk around here in the water streams. There's multiple things you could do about that, but I usually have Depth Strider and stuff, so it doesn't really matter. You can just fight it for a second, break a couple blocks. I'm sure you'll have like an efficiency axe or something like that too, so you can make breaking the chest quite easy. But you can see there that we just got a bunch of blocks in the system in pretty much no time at all, and we're ready to move on. So then you got all your chests missing. Well, it's pretty much as simple as just putting them back. That's why you have them in your inventory. It's a little bit of water fighting, but you're good to go. And they're going to fill back up again. And so the way that this is all trapped in here, the snowballs should all stay in your system. They should all stay in this little area, and you should be able to craft them all into here. And this is our little storage system. Got blocks up there and blocks down here. All right, it's pretty cool. So I'm going to get on showing you how to build this. I think you've seen how to use it. And once again, I like to use these for things that you need, thousands and thousands of blocks. but you don't want to use cobblestone. It's got to look nice, right? Okay, so let's move on to the tutorial part of the video. I'll be RB. Alright guys, well, I'm going to show you how to build this now. We've gone up a little bit more than we did over there, so we have more room to work with. I think the first step that what you'd want to do is you want to put down your enchanting table in a block like that, and maybe a couple more blocks over here. And then you're going to want to put down your golem. You can put them right over the enchanting table like that. Then you want to block that in with fences. So you want to do the corner that the enchanting table's on, you want to fill that up completely with fences like this. And you're going to want to have a couple over there. So then we're going to build out like so. We're going to put down a piston. You don't need to go out that far or that far. 2 pistons like that. Okay, so that's going to block him in there, and we should be ready to move on. Let's build our guy. So you got to put this dude in a biome that he'll survive in, obviously, so snow biome or something like that. Push him into the corner, onto the enchanting table, and activate your pistons, and then break those. So he should be trapped in here, and this should be safe. He should be safe in here. Nothing should be able to get him because the the hitbox of the fence is completely protecting him. Let's despawn the roof. So, okay, so now he's ready to be to have a block pushed under him, and this is a little bit weird, but the way you want to do that is just, again, with a piston. So let's do that, and that, put one not like that, like here, power it, break it, now he's got a block under him, and an enchantment table under him. Okay, and just to clarify, you can't do that because you can't place blocks here because the guy's in the hitbox. Okay, so this is how we're able to generate snow on that little platform down below. So we can build that little platform right here, and you can see snow is generating. And so you're basically done at this point for just a simple snow farm. You don't have to do anything else, and you'll be able to just get infinite amounts of snow. So let's grab a shovel. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So what you want to do is just come up here, aim at both of the blocks, and just hold down the button. Let's go into, well, not survival mode. We don't want to die from fall damage. Let's build ourselves a little bit of a platform. Now we can go into survival mode. And sit here and aim at both of the blocks, and you can see we're getting tons and tons and tons of snow. So if you don't want to do all the rest of the build, you're pretty much done, guys. Just maybe put some hoppers down or something like that, or just use your inventory. It don't really matter. This is a super easy, super early game method, and it creates a lot of snow to the point where you're probably going to lag your game out. So if you don't want to lag your game out, you want to build, the rest of it. Let's get started with that because, this is going to produce so much snow. You're going to have to figure something out to do with it. Okay. Okay, so before we move on, just to clarify, this farm could be completely done for like an early game build. You don't have to do anything else, and this will be producing a ridiculous amount of snow for yourself. So if you go into survival mode, you get your shovel out, you look at both of these blocks and hold down the button, you're going to see that tons and tons and tons of snow is going to generate infinitely, and it'll never stop. You're going to lag your game out, you won't even be able to store it all. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy how fast you're going to build up the snowballs. It's just awesome. So let's build the rest of the system. After this, I just wanted to show you that this will work fine if you don't worry about all the redstone stuff. This farm's totally done as is. So anyway, let's move on here to the redstone part of the build. Alright, well, we're going to need to retract our floor, so put a piston down here in a slime block like so. So when you can, when you extend the piston, it's going to grab the floor, it's going to pull it back like that. We're going to need a slime block over here, so it grabs both of them. So there you go, there's your retractable floor that it's going to pull out every once in a while and allow snowballs to go into your system. So then you're going to want to use immovable blocks. So note blocks I think look pretty cool. You could use furnaces, melons, you guys know the drill, anything that can't be moved by a piston. So put them all down in there. And okay, I think that's the retractable floor is good to go. Let's just check it to make sure we didn't grab any extra blocks. So now let's fill in the rest of this area. So I think we're going to need block there, block there, block there. Let's do it right here. This is the hole that you're going to reach through, so leave that open. I like to use glass here so you can make sure the golem is still alive. So let's block this guy in. Yeah, and I'll move on to the next step, but first we got to make sure everybody's safe. Okay. Okay, you're going to want to put a stair block upside down in that hole so nothing comes out of there. You're also going to want to put an obsidian block around the back here so you don't accidentally break anything like that. And then we can move on here. We also want to put a trapdoor in front just to block yourself from getting too close and to prevent stuff from coming through. Now let's work on the redstone down here. Okay, so this is pretty simple. You can see what's going on. We got a block, 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 torch tower, and then underneath here, this is the redstone for the etho hopper clock. Okay, and then this has 16 items in it. So if you haven't seen one of these, it's pretty simple, but you can obviously look up the etho hopper clock tutorial. And you can find a million of them. So then we have this little extension back here in the corner. where this actually turns on redstone comparator out of that and then loops back in comparator into the block. So this means that when it turns off, it's going to wait a little bit before it turns back on. And that's to slow down this whole process so the hoppers can keep up. Cool, so now let's build a little auto dispenser system to be able to dispense shovels automatically and a little redstone door to keep yourself in place. And then we can move on to the storage system, which is super cool. Okay, so let's work on the little hopper system down here. So the way that I like to do this is put down solid blocks, put down your hopper like so. Then we're going to feed all of this in like a loop. So let's break them out like that, place them on the side like that, and then what this goes into would be a double chest. Then we're going to come down here, we're going to put another double chest underneath, and this is just to increase the amount of storage that we can fit in this area. You could obviously go more with this or less, but this seems to work out pretty good. Gives you at least a couple hours full of, AFK ability. So let's place a block down like that. And you can place our hopper here. So this is going to be where our dropper elevator is going to go. So let's grab out some of those droppers. Yep. Now let's get our blocks ready. Like that. Now let's put these in here. Okay, perfect. Alright, the redstone for this is pretty simple, so let's just build out here and give ourselves a little bit of space. We're going to want to put a block back here, and then a couple blocks up like so. Break that out. Let's get out a torch and a repeater, and let's put a torch there, repeater. Actually, we need blocks over this way to make it like the other one. Let's put a repeater there, dust like this, dust like that, and a torch like so. Cool, so that's going to power the droppers, and so you can fill this up with shovels, and every time that this clicks, it's going to go bam, 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 and it's going to shoot out the top. So what we do to make sure that we pick up that shovel is block all of this in with glass, or something else, but I like to use glass, just so you can see what's going on. Whoops, let's put some like that, like that, like that. Okay, and then a little bit of a floor for us to enter with. Enter on, whatever, you know what I mean. Okay, and then we're going to want to get out a pressure plate. I like to use iron because it looks cool. And then we're going to want to put water like this. It's blocked in there like so. Then, that doesn't actually matter, but why don't we just put glass there just so it looks better. Okay, so now we got this little system, and so every time that activates, it's going to dispense something out of there. So let's test this out, actually. Let's grab some shovels. I like to use iron, but like I said, you could use stone if you didn't have an iron farm or something. So let's just throw a bunch in here and see if we're able to get a dispensal of the shovel when we turn on the clock. Okay, turn that on. It's going to take a couple times for the shovels to be clicked up to the top, but it should start working once it starts, dispensing the thing. And there you go, you just saw a shovel come up, it went across, it got picked up by the hopper, went back into the system. So if we were standing here and we had an empty slot, we would pick that shovel up. Okay, so now let's do a little bit of a piston door. So this is super easy. This is not necessary. You could use a fence gate. I just like to do things like this because it makes it a little bit safer, a little bit easier, that kind of thing. So let's turn this off. What we want to do is we want to come up here like this. This is going to be the blocks we push into place. So let's put our pistons down over here. Not like that, like this. Break that out. We're going to want to put blocks on top, like so. Block like that. We're going to want to put buttons down here, like so. Just looking at how I did it over there. Okay, and then a block like that. Torch or dust on the side, torch in the center, and redstone over here. And that's going to give you a little bit of a 2-block tall redstone door that's going to block you into place, and so you're not going to get killed by mobs or anything like that. So let's block this in. You can just put glass all the way over the front like that, and over here as well. Make it all look nice. You know what to do. I think this is all good to go. Let's just make sure we're all blocked in. Cool. So that's pretty much the Snow Factory done as far as the functional part of the machine. Now it's just all about storage and collection. So again, you could stop here if you wanted to. This is all the way done. You don't have to do anything else, and just tons and tons of snowballs are going to shoot out of here when you're using it. So let's figure out how we're going to, store everything and how we're going to keep up with the hoppers and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, you can just walk right up to it. You can reach into that little gap or whatever you want to do, hit the lever, and then you can walk in here. Whoops, you can walk in here, like I said, like so. Get all your snow. You can leave like this, and then go down into your storage system. So let's go build that. All right, let's work on the item stream. So let's give ourselves a couple blocks of space down like so. And then on this level, we're going to put down ice coming out of here. We're going to go back by a block too and make sure that there's a, a block back here so we can put water under there. Let's block it in. Okay, so you can see it starts to flow like that. And then what we're going to want to do is put down some blocks over here and put down some cake. I know it's weird, but what's going to happen is it's going to block down. Ooh, I put it in the wrong spot. Put it over there. So what it's going to do is it's going to make the items hang out right on the edge here. And it's going to be able to be at the same time on the ice and at the same time on these hoppers. So let's throw those in facing that direction. You can see like so. All right, and so now we're gonna put down cobblestone fences right here. And then blocks on top. So that's gonna keep everything nice and aligned. And so to continue your water, there's a few different ways to do it. I like to do something like this, get out some slabs, and we can just put down a slab right here. Continue our water like that. Okay. Alright, make sure to be real careful and not break any redstone here. So we've got our ice that comes back around and connects back into its original position. You see that? So it's a big loop. And this obviously froze because, there isn't a block above it. So let's put a block above it. Put back our water. Okay, so it's gonna, it's gonna get to the end, it's gonna come around, it's gonna go back into our system, and we'll figure out how the water connects back into here later. We just gotta make sure right now that this is all blocked up, and this is gonna have to remain open, but don't you worry, we're gonna figure something out for that. I think what we'll do to remind ourselves is we'll just put down a slab. Okay, and then we can probably put our water like over here, so let's just throw that in. Alright, and obviously, the momentum and everything will keep everything going. So what you want to do over here is instead of putting a block down like that, that'll actually block all of the items. They'll be stuck on the side there. So you're going to want to put down another piece of cobblestone. Then you can do solid blocks like this. Connect it all up. Let's put down a slab up here. So this hopper will still be able to pick stuff up. The ice will be shooting it by, and so it'll be able to pass underneath there. Put down another water, and make sure to cover it up so it doesn't freeze. If you're doing this in the snow biome, which you should be. Alright, and when you block everything up, this is something that I did when I was building this machine. Make sure that you use a note block down here, or an immovable block, because this piston's going to come out, and then there's going to be slime blocks over here that you don't want to have stuck to anything. So you just make sure that you're not, doing that kind of thing, because that's going to make issues for you. That's what happened to me the first time, and I was like, why isn't this working? Okay, and so then for here, we're probably going to want to extend our water a little bit more. So just go back into the water, put down a slab, put down some more water, and there you go. And that should go right past here. It should be aligned against this wall, so it shouldn't go into that little gap. It should pass right through and go right back into the system. So when this piston is not extended and you can't be making any more snowballs, that's going to give you a little bit of time for the snowballs to make their way around here and then to continue and fill up the hoppers. So that's why we're doing it that way, is to make sure that we're getting all the snowballs that we're producing, because we might as well be efficient about it. So now we can make a little wall of chests. And so I'm going to get out normal chests and trap chests, and we're going to go 6 by something, and I'll bring it back. Alright, so alternating between trap chests and normal chests, we're going to make a wall like that of double chests. We're going to go 5 tall, because that's about the height that you can reach as a player in survival. Let's block everything off so we can make sure that none of the snowballs that we produce when we break these chests are going to fly all over the place. Let's just block all of this up like so. Then we're going to want to put glass over here. We're also going to want to put glass on the front, so we're going to want to block all of this off as well. Okay, and so then after you do that, you're going to want to come back here, and you're going to build a little bit of a platform for yourself, because you're in creative mode, not really, you're actually in survival. Okay, then hoppers up the back, and we're going to want to connect all these hoppers up to all these chests like so. So once again, you could be done here if you wanted to. You don't have to do the bulk crafting part of the video. You don't have to follow the rest of the tutorial. You could just keep everything in a chest, and you could just pull everything out if you want to, and then craft it however you see fit. But if you want to automate it a little bit further, that's what we're going to do next. So you want to make sure there's glass all in front here, so none of the snowballs can fly out the front. Hoppers behind will protect it from that as well, but just to be sure, let's put down some more glass like this. And then I like to use, like lighting or something like that back here, something like sea lantern, so it, gives it plenty of light coming through the hoppers and the chests and everything, so you don't have to light it up in other places. Okay, then we're going to want to give ourselves 2 blocks of headroom, and then we want to use a non-ice block down here, so something that slows down the items. we're going to come out to that block right there. You see that? And on this block, we're going to want to put trapdoors. So let's angle the trapdoors this direction and then open them all. Okay, that's what's going to keep you in here. And then back in here, we can put some water. So the way I had it set up, there probably is a better method of doing this, but I just put a couple like that. So this is going to kind of push everything into the center, and you should be ready to go. Okay, then you're going to want to drop down a block like so and make a little 2 by, whatever platform of ice. You want to give it like 2 blocks wide, so you got plenty of room to throw your stuff in there. A couple more water blocks in here. So this is all going to push stuff into the center. And then you can bust these out and put down some hoppers. Let's put some blocks for those to face into like this. And then hoppers like so. Alright, so that's going to collect everything. You could even extend that further if you want to, which we should probably do right here. So a couple more. Okay, so now we're ready to put our storage system in place. First, we're going to want to put a couple ladders just in case we fall into here. We want to be able to get out. Then some stairs so we can make it our way down into the system, like down in here. A couple trapdoors on the edge so we can walk in, and we should be ready. So that is a little bit of an entrance way, so you can walk down here, you can open it, you can close yourself back in it, and then now you're down here in the system and you're ready to throw stuff down into there. Okay. Now we can obviously just put a little bit of a storage situation together down in there, tidy everything up, and I think that's pretty much the farm done. Well guys, that's it for the tutorial. You can see it came out a little bit different than that one over there because we went with a few different measurements, but it should work out fine. All the concepts are in place. Obviously you could just extend this off into the distance 1,000 blocks and have infinite storage if you really felt like it. And like I said, you could take different parts of this system and Frankenstein them together. You could even just rip all this stuff out and use this little bulk block crafting system for something else entirely. So it's a pretty cool little design. I came up with it mostly by myself, but like I said, there's a Snow Factory made by DocM77 a few years ago, where I got this little dropout floor idea and a little bit of the timing and stuff like that. Yeah, but I think it works out pretty well. Let me know what you guys thought about this. Let me know if you're going to build this in your world or something like that. Tweet me a picture if you do. I'd love to see that. Anyway, guys, hit the like button if you felt like it. Sub it if you're brand new. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye! Then you just do comparative repeater, redstone, 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 and this guy should be good to go. So we can throw blocks in here and it'll start shooting them out. So this is a pretty